As you know, we've had the Reading 360 training, and we had over 100 teachers to attend that, K2 as well as 3-5, and support teachers. So as you attended that Reading 360 training, what new learning did you gain from it?
I learned the sounds first approach, which I had always kind of taught that way, but as far as actually implementing it and knowing that it's the correct way is something I was guaranteed that I was teaching correctly. So not focusing on just letters and letter names, but what sounds those letters make. That's the big thing I took away that week.
Awesome. Super validating for you.
Yes.
Yeah, and me as well, knowing the research.
Yes.
What was your biggest takeaway from the Reading 360 training?
I enjoyed, again, the sounds first, and also like how to fill in the gaps with these kids, knowing exactly what to use and them giving me something to use, and being able to fill in gaps and make sure that they are learning phonemic awareness and the phonograms and all of that correctly and using it in their reading and their writing.
All right, perfect. What do you think is your biggest challenge this year with teaching foundational skills?
Probably the pacing of it and just being able to keep up with the pacing and making sure that I don't fly through it, make sure I'm going at a good pace that meets the kids' needs.
Yes. That's a really good point, because we want to make sure they're rock solid at each spot.
And every child, not just the whole group, but sometimes we have some that fall through the cracks and we miss those. And so I want to make sure that every child is ready to move on to the next thing, or I am able to go back. So that's a big challenge that I feel like I'm going to face this year.
Yes. Okay. And what will you do differently this year or add to your foundational skills instruction?
Do differently. I'm not really sure, but I do know how I'm going to use it. I know I'm going to use it with the CKLA, but definitely in my small group, more small group time. They've given us a hard copy of something to use, so I plan to definitely use it in my small group, and continuing adding in like lots of writing, somehow or other get the kids up and moving with it, get them very involved with it, and that's one thing I plan to add to it. It's just lots of movement and more engaging.
Yes. And something that we know is super important that we are really stressing this year is using those foundational skills with writing, with reading, so that it's not isolated.
Right. And I hope to see that, because we are using the CKLA knowledge, so I really hope in those writing tasks we see what we're using in the sounds first. We see it in those writing tasks that we use daily in the classroom. And not just those writing tasks, but also when we write in math and when we write in the phonics, and if we have to do a unit starter or an RTI, we see writing across the board being used. Those sounds first.
Absolutely. And so you'll know they've mastered it when you see it applied.
When we see it across the board every day.
That's exciting. So what excites you about this foundational skills unit and the Sounds First activities? I'm
excited to have something from the state that I know is research-based. It's validating what we've been doing. It's lined out for me. I know exactly what to do every day. I know if I stick to the routine, the kids will jump in on the routine. It's very, very like structured, and that's what I love about it. And I know it's word for word, and if I teach it, I know it's research-based. It's just not something I'm finding online or creating myself. It's there for me, and it's going to help these kids read and write.
Perfect. Anything else you want to add about
I'm just excited. I'm excited to have something from the state. I feel like, especially in that small group time when you're trying to meet kids' needs, or even in whole group, I have something that's going to meet every kid's need, and I'm not scrounging around looking for something. So that's what I'm very excited about, to have something research-based in my hands to use every day.